Welcome back to the Dark Psychology World channel. We're back to help you understand everyday psychology better. Trauma often comes from overwhelming stress from situations that exceed your ability to cope, like the death of a loved one, the end of a meaningful relationship, or rejection from someone you care about. Do you pretend everything's good when it really isn't? When you don't have a positive and healthy way of dealing with your trauma, you end up repressing your negative emotions. It can be hard to recognize unresolved trauma, especially within ourselves. So, here are 9 signs you're still suffering from unhealed trauma. 1. You resist positive change. When something good comes into your life, is your first instinct to be suspicious of it? Do you feel shame or guilt whenever you grow attached to someone or celebrate your own success? If so, you might be carrying unresolved trauma. You have a hard time accepting positive change and may even try to resist it because deep down, you feel like you don't deserve to be happy. 2. You need to plan for everything. Do you need to stay completely in control? Do you feel frustrated and lost whenever things don't go as expected? Your need for control is likely rooted in a traumatic experience that left you feeling helpless and vulnerable. As a result, you micromanage everything and worry about things out of your control, showing a deep-seated distrust in both yourself and the world. 3. You have a strong fear of failure. Being afraid of failure is normal, but a strong fear of failure can be unhealthy if it outweighs your motivation to succeed. Not only do you miss out on opportunities and stifle your creativity and ambition, but it can also lead to perfectionism and insecurity. This might be due to unresolved trauma that causes you to have a negative belief in yourself and internalize your shortcomings. 4. You have a strong fear of success. Repressed trauma can also manifest as a strong fear of success. Have you ever held yourself back from getting something you wanted, not because you feared you might not get it, but because you feared what would happen if you did? You're afraid of losing what you'll have even before you achieve it. This tendency to unconsciously sabotage your own chances of success is often associated with those who were abandoned or lost a loved one at a young age. 5. You have difficulty concentrating. Trauma has many damaging psychological effects, and it's not uncommon for victims to suddenly have difficulty concentrating. If you've been having gaps in your memory, blacking out often, and finding it hard to keep your train of thought, it might be your mind crying out for help, asking you to work through your trauma. 6. You have trouble asking for help. Do you have trouble opening up to others about what happened to you? If you've experienced some form of abuse or mistreatment, you usually struggle with asking for help. You'd rather suffer in silence because you're too afraid to reach out to someone else. You don't want to be rejected, denied, judged, or seen as weak by those around you. 7. You often hurt yourself or others. Do you lash out at other people when you're experiencing intense emotions? Do you push your loved ones away and isolate yourself whenever you have to deal with a problem? If you're still hurting from unhealed trauma, there are times when you might end up taking it out on yourself or those you care about. You become emotionally volatile, out of control, and overly sensitive. You lose your temper, break things, and may even resort to self-harm. You struggle with low self-esteem. Trauma can really mess with your self-image, especially if it stems from early childhood experiences. Abuse, abandonment, and neglect can make you question your self-worth. It's tough to feel good about yourself if the abuse came from someone you loved. Studies show that people with PTSD often suffer from low self-esteem and feelings of worthlessness. 8. You have unexplained psychological symptoms. Do you feel more anxious and panicky than before? Is it hard to feel happy or find pleasure in things you used to enjoy? Have you lost your appetite or have trouble sleeping at night? Research shows that anxiety, depression, dissociation, depersonalization, panic attacks, frequent flashbacks, nightmares, and emotional distress are all common in people with PTSD. Have you or someone you love ever experienced a traumatic situation? If so, how do you plan to overcome it? If you're still suffering from lingering psychological trauma, it's important to reach out to a mental health professional today and get the help you need. Healing from trauma takes time and effort, but it's worth it and necessary to truly move forward in life and find peace of mind. Please share this with anyone you think might benefit from it. Stay tuned and thanks for watching. See you next time. This is Dark Psychology World Channel.